Alright, welcome back to Michael Jackson's Moonwalker, where we are starting the new level of the game. Also, I'm showing off right here something that I didn't show off yet, and that is if you press the attack button, well actually if you hold down the attack button and start walking before the animation is done, you will begin to moonwalk. Of course the moonwalk is in this game. Now this level is baffling to me because the song right now is in fact not Thriller. You know, why, of course, why wouldn't Thriller be playing right now? It's fitting, Thriller would be absolutely fitting right here. But it is not the song that they chose to go with for some unknown reason. Who knows why? It is instead, I think it's Another Piece of Me, I think is the name of the song. Which is incredibly baffling to me that Thriller is not the song playing. You've got zombies, you're in a creepy cemetery. How is Thriller not playing here? It just doesn't make sense. But yeah, it would have been cool to have some sort of a costume change in this game. I don't know. Get the cool Thriller jacket, the classic red Thriller jacket. But, over here's the boss area. There's Mr. Big again with his classic, haha, you'll never catch me. But, if you do the magic button, you'll get this to happen. So, that is pretty much the only place in the game that you can actually get Thriller to occur. It baffles me. Like I said, it just doesn't make sense. So this level here, 3-2 Woods, is where the levels start getting really annoying. This is probably, honestly, my least favorite level in the entire game. I think it is a poorly designed level. The zombies are a really, really annoying enemy. This is the only saving grace of this level, is the shooting star that pops up there. Because as we know from the last video, the shooting stars give Michael Jackson the power to turn into Mecha Jackson. One of the things I don't like about this level is it's kind of a little difficult to traverse. Like, the jumping isn't all great. So using Mecha Jackson to kind of get up to the top isn't that bad, but he also kind of falls through the levels, and I think he'll go all the way back down. Or he'll at least drop down a few levels. Also, you can see here, you kind of get these zombies to group up, which, by the way, that's awesome that you can kill all those zombies like that, but it makes the game slow down, and that's not great. But I usually like to do this. I usually like to get the shooting star, so I can get up to that girl, because I think that platform is actually really annoying to get to. You have to make that jump, which isn't really clear, so your first time through this, you're probably going to be wandering through this level for quite a while, trying to figure out how to get up to the top. Because you gotta jump from that area that I just jumped down to the platforms to the left, and it's not very clear. Michael Jackson has a very weird jump arc in this game that I don't think is all that great. If you were to just jump straight up, his jump isn't very high, so you usually have to jump like that, where you jump off of something to the right or to the left, and that is where he usually reaches his highest point. And like I said, if you're just jumping up like that, I don't think you really have that high of a jump. So you usually have to do those running kind of jumps in order to platform correctly in this game. And I don't think that's great. But yeah, this level is a complete clusterfuck. I hate this level. And the zombies, like I said, are really, really annoying. For the most part, I really don't think this game is very difficult. But, holy shit, dude, these zombies are terrible. So, yeah, instead of me wandering around for a while, trying to get back up, I just cut ahead to when I got here, because no one needs to see me go through this level again. I want to get this game done pretty quickly, because I love this game, but this level, dude, not great. I've never actually tried to get the birds to dance with me. I don't know if you can or not. Also, yeah, I already got that girl. I think I got a game over when I was recording this, but thankfully you're seeing some edits. So that's not too terrible. And I knew I wanted to show off Mecha Jackson at least one more time in a normal level. So, not only is this level just an obnoxious piece of shit, but this boss battle is also really annoying. This is how not to do this boss battle, I'm just showing. Because this is actually one of those that's very easy once you use the magic attack to make all the enemies dance. Usually it doesn't work every single boss battle, but it does in this one. So essentially the magic attack is the only way to make this boss not just a horrible, horrible pain in the ass. So, you're gonna lose half your health, but I think it's worth it because, you know, it just gets rid of all these enemies. Yeah, don't get used to hearing Thriller. I don't understand why Thriller's not just playing in this. I know I said it already, but it doesn't make sense. So these are super zombies or ultra zombies. They're really annoying, but if you get them locked in a loop like this, they're not all that difficult to deal with. That is why they're very annoying, is because they will detach themselves. You know, their upper body will detach, and it's depending on how Michael is kind of facing. If he's standing upright, they're going to just attack upright and you can duck under them, but if you're already ducking, they're going to kind of go diagonally towards you, and you're going to have to jump over them. So, they can be pretty annoying to deal with, actually. And, yeah, so that's the best way to take care of them. These levels, the Woods levels, are probably my least favorite in the game. The next set of levels, the next 3 levels that we're going to get to in this video, are probably my favorites, which may not seem like, you know, something that makes sense because these next 3 levels are actually fairly complex. Not really complex, just they're a little bit tougher than the ones that we've gotten to, but I like that kind of challenge rather than these fucking zombies jumping all over the place. It's terrible. And the platforming in these levels isn't really all that great either. This is also when they start throwing a lot more little girls at you. Like, I think the last level was maybe like 9 kids. This one, it's like 8, 9, or 10. So you're pretty much not going to see any kids under 8 from here on out. Like, that's the minimum number you're going to see in these levels, is like 8 kids. I do believe the max is about 10. You'll never see anything over 10. Also, these birds are annoying. You got to get the placement just right of the attack. But this level's really not like anything to write home about, honestly, which is odd, because you'd think it should be tougher, and since it's 3-3 and not, you know, 3-2, but that's it. We're done. That last level is, I think, just about as bad as it gets. That's once I finish that level in a playthrough, then I know I'm good to go, essentially. But yeah, moonwalking is a lot of fun to do in this game. It really serves no practical purpose. This, I don't actually know. I kind of just did this just because. You can see I became invincible there, and now I'm starting to dance with these guys, because these are the same zombies as the previous boss, but they drop bombs, so they're a little bit more annoying. These guys can actually be more annoying than the previous guys, but I did that, and I actually never knew that would work, and I got lucky with these guys, honestly. So they're not that bad. I don't think they're as bad as the previous guys. But yeah, moonwalking really serves no purpose. But, I mean, you can do it, and what Michael Jackson game would be complete without a, you know, moonwalking button, essentially. God, I love those little, like, level transitions. But this is it. This is the 4th set of stages, the caverns. These can get annoying if you don't know what you're doing, you know. Like I said in the first video, I've memorized these levels fairly well because I've played this game, you know, quite a few times. So, I know what I'm doing, you know, I know where these kids are, I know how to deal with these enemies. That rock there, as you can see, I just kicked it. That's another one of those kind of environmental kills. So this is essentially just one really huge labyrinth kind of level. And, you know, it depends on whichever cave you go into or little, you know, doorway you go into. You know, there's not going to be a kid in every single one. So it can be a little bit more confusing to deal with. But I really actually like these levels. I like the cavernous, labyrinthian kind of feel to them. And again, it seems weird that I'm like praising this silly Michael Jackson game for, you know, being fairly well designed, and it plays better. Like I said, it plays and feels better than it really has any right to, as it is a game where you play as the king of pop. And yeah, again, it's equivalent to, like, these days playing like a Justin Bieber game where you piss in janitors' buckets and flip off pictures of Bill Clinton, or a Chris Brown video game where the final boss is Rihanna or something like that. I don't know. Or a Kanye West game where you just constantly go around interrupting people. So, you know, it's very bizarre that this game exists. I've said it many, many times. And again, I've never seen Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. I've seen some clips. I looked up some clips online in between these videos because I said I was going to try and watch it. I didn't watch the full thing, but I did see some clips. But I still like to look at the video game and the movie as separate things. You know, you don't need to see one to enjoy the other. You know, if Mecha Jackson has some sort of explanation in the movie, I kind of don't want to hear it because it's so glorious that it exists in this game. God, I love that there's a screen nuke where Michael Jackson just, you know, attacks, you know, he dances with people and then attacks them. This game is such a joy to play and watch. Not only is it fun to play as Michael Jackson, but I think if you watch someone who knows what they're doing with this game and knows how to play and, you know, does it fairly seamlessly, I think this game could be a lot of fun to watch as well. You know, I'm not trying to toot my own horn or anything. I'm pretty good at this game, and I think watching me play as Michael Jackson is pretty great. Also, there aren't enough video games, you know, where the main character's name is Michael. Because Michael is the most boring name of all time. I would know because it's my name. And there need to be more video game characters named Michael, because I don't get that enough, you know? I want more games where you rescue people and they say, Michael! Because I feel like I'm actually accomplishing that. You know, I want a game where you play as me and you turn into a giant robot. If Michael Jackson could do it, I think I should be able to as well. But I have not brought up yet the song playing in this level, which is probably the most bizarre musical choice. You know, Smooth Criminal makes sense, Beat It makes sense, Bad makes sense. But Billie Jean in a cavernous area? What's the context of that? There is no context. I don't understand. This is where the music just falls apart. The next level has bizarre music choice as well, where I think it's The Way You Make Me Feel, and it does not make sense in the context of, you know, the next level we're gonna do, like a cavern. We're in a cavern filled with spiders and boulders, and you have to break through walls, and there's zombies and special force guys that have laser beams in their guns. What does Billie Jean have to do with any of this, you know? Billie Jean is not my lover. She's just a one who says that I am the one, but the kid is not my son. What does that have to do with anything that you're seeing on screen right now? Michael Jackson is kicking boulders with his pixie dust kneecap attack, you know, giving Chris Redfield a run for his goddamn money. I find that the duck and pixie dust attack is probably the best thing to do in a lot of these levels. The range isn't as good, Like, the range is much better when you are standing up doing things, but it's easier because these Special Forces guys, or I don't know what they're called, they're more likely to just stand up and attack you. Sometimes they'll duck and try and shoot you, but, you know, ducking will avoid most of their attacks unless they get you like that. But yeah, I assume these levels are a complete nightmare your first time through if you don't know what you're doing, because you don't know that you could break through walls like that. What you have to do is you have to press up and the attack button. That's how I'm, you know, breaking through those walls. There's really no indication that you can do that, so it's kind of cryptic. I remember the first time I played this, I had to look up what to do because I could not figure out, you know, where the 3 or 4 girls that I was missing were, because, you know, they're hidden in walls, and the game doesn't tell you that you can burst through those walls. I feel like your rate of fire is also faster when you're kneeling like that, and we'll see that. That's actually, I think it's this level or the next level, where that is going to save my ass in the boss battle. I love that you can moonwalk, and I love how it doesn't interrupt. Like, you can change directions with it, and it's great. I think it's the next level that has the really annoying boss battle that, is actually a pretty clutch victory, if I do say so myself. We'll see if we catch you, Mr. Big. This one I don't think is all that bad, because this is, I think, just spiders and zombies. So it's not, you know, it's not too bad. The spiders you could deal with no problem. All you gotta do is duck and punch. The zombies are more annoying because they're flying all over the place, and they could be annoying because their movement is fairly unpredictable. I don't really like them all that much. And so yeah, this is why I don't like the zombies, because this can happen to you. This feels like this is a true survival horror game. You're just playing as Michael Jackson, you know, Frank West, eat your heart out. Chris Redfield, you know, we already said he's giving him a run for his money, kicking boulders and everything like that. I would love to now see, you know, I think Capcom should make it, totally, a Resident Evil game where he plays Michael Jackson. That would be true horror. But yeah, these zombies are not fun. I found the best way to do it is to just stick to one side and just, you know, kneel and do that. Essentially just do what I'm doing. You could do it in either corner, and it works out pretty well, I think. Gotta just moonwalk over. I thought that I wasn't going to be able to finish this level because you could see the kid is completely covered by the boulder. And the boulder! But you can just kick it away. And that level took me quite a while. But this level's not too bad. For some reason, again, the third level in the stages are kind of like, okay, they're easier than the previous level. Why? Like, that last level is actually really huge, but this one's really not all that big. Yeah, I don't mind these levels. Like I said, the cavern levels I actually really like. I like that they're a little more complicated, because they're complicated, but they're not, you know, swarming with zombies and really annoying enemies. It's manageable, whereas the woods levels I really don't like, because I feel like the zombies are too much to deal with sometimes. And the next set of levels can also be kind of annoying, but we'll get to that in the next and final video. I love killing people with these boulders. It's so silly. Well, this entire game is silly. This is probably the most cryptic thing in the entire game. That waterfall, there's no indication that you can go in there. And I don't know if there are actually any shooting stars in these levels. And, because as I said last time, the Mecha Jackson allows you to see where some of the kids are hidden. So that would be really the only thing I could think of as to how you would know that there's a kid in that waterfall. Fairly cryptic. Again, it's cryptic like a Resident Evil game. I mean, if you squint and kind of look at this game, you know, for the first time, this could absolutely be considered a Resident Evil game. Think about it. Oh man, I mean, there are just times where I'm looking at the things going on screen and I'm reminded that this is a Michael Jackson video game. Like, I can't get over it. I know I keep saying it, but it's so ridiculous and I love it. That's why I love this game. If this was a game about anything else, if this was just called, like, Moonwalker or something, if this did not have anything to do with Michael Jackson, this would not be a great game. It'd be an okay game, but it would be fairly forgettable. You know, this is the very definition of a cult classic game. And you just don't see stuff like this anymore. I would love to see this. I made a joke last time where I said I'd love to see a gritty reboot of the series, or of the game, but I would legitimately like to see a remake of this game, like in 3D, or just update the game. You know, I'd like to see this concept revisited, you know. It'd probably be a little harder now that, you know, Michael Jackson's unfortunately not around anymore. He's dead, which I think is gonna be one of those things that I'm never gonna really get over, because I would have loved to have seen Michael Jackson perform, and I'll never be able to do that. You know, he's probably my favorite musical artist of all time. I'm a huge Michael Jackson fan. I love pretty much all of his songs, and I'll never get to see him perform, period, and I think that's a real shame. Yeah, the guy, he was eccentric, you know, he was a little wacko, you know, that's wacko jacko, but I think he really just had a childlike innocence to him. I don't think he was a bad guy, you know, I don't think he molested those kids. I just think he wanted to give those kids the childhood he couldn't have. You know, when he was dangling his kid over the banister, I think he legitimately was just really excited and wanted people to see his kid and wasn't thinking straight because he doesn't know how to act. I don't know what went on with his, you know, his skin color. I don't know why he randomly was white. I don't know if he just decided to bleach himself or if it was really just some kind of a condition he had. So I really don't know. But I think Michael Jackson was one of the best performers, and even if that other stuff, you know, happened, he still wouldn't be any more or any less of an entertainer. Obviously, I'm not saying if he molested those kids for real, you know, I would still support him, because that's a horrible thing to do. You know, but that's my 2 cents on Michael Jackson. Also, I think this is one of the other hardest bosses in the game. This is what I meant when I said that there's a boss that, you know, the ducking and punching thing really, really helped. And you gotta be really quick. Because when I went to the right there to punch those guys, I was mashing the button. That is, I think, the hardest thing in this entire set of levels, and that's it. So, see you next time for the epic conclusion of Michael Jackson's Moonwalker.